It's time for NSYNC fan fiction. It's fan fiction about NSYNC. Our friend found a bind full of some anonymous girls. NSYNC fan fiction at a thrift store in Chicago. We read pages from it aloud, and we make our way through the binder.
Hello!
And welcome to the NSYNC Fan Fiction Radio Hour. We are coming to you live from both of our homes, Sasha in his home, me in my home. And it's perfect that we're doing a video version of today's podcast, even though it is normally audio, because we are excited to present to you a recipe that I have to pull up on my phone because I can't remember the full name of it. It's rice balls, the recipe from Joey Fatone of NSYNC.
Yeah, from rock and roll legend Joey Fatone.
This I discovered is coming from a book that I can't remember the name of that is coming out soon.
I'm really enjoying the framing of our photos here. It looks like I like Laura Palmer's mother is about to start screaming soon, and you're like the kindergarten of my dreams.
With the, you know what? If you move over just a tiny bit, it looks like you're wearing one of those hats that has the whirlies on the top.
Who's saying I'm not? Like that?
Yeah, wait, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. Boom. Screenshot that shit. Here is Sasha's rice. Oh, wait, I should read the little description that they have on the recipe, too.
For sure.
All right. Joey Fatone is someone Mary Wilson and I know from the Kentucky Derby and the annual Barnstable Brown Gala in Louisville. Joey is a great guy to run into, and he always seems to be the life of any party he attends. Here, Chef Fatone shares his recipe for one of his favorite things to make as a perfect party snack.
These are just arancini, which are like fried Italian rice balls. But in the case of rock and roll legend Joey Fatone,
yes,
these are fried rice balls. Because this man knows his rice. It's gonna be okay.
I believe it. Okay, well, I guess I should cue the audience in how I came across this recipe that's in a book that hasn't been published yet. So
no, let's leave them in a mystery. We're gonna settle several clues, and you solve it on the next episode.
I'll give you the first clue is I work in a bookstore and I do the book ordering. That's clue number one. So, shall we just get started on this recipe? Should we just do it?
Yeah. So, a couple things one must note. Liz, actually, you went to the grocery store and picked up everything exactly, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I did not, because we live in a crazy world.
Yeah.
Where I fear people who don't wear masks now. So, I'm going to be doing a couple of slight substitutions, but it's going to be fine.
Okay. I had to, because I get shitty Wi-Fi in my kitchen, I had to bring everything into the living room. So I may have realized that I forgot something or whatever. I may have to disappear for a minute to go get something or whatever, but we're gonna try to do this as best as we can with the weird resources that we both have.
I hope that you're going to be frying these on a hot plate. And you got the Easy Bake Oven out, which I assume is your husband's, but
Yeah. Well, actually, the Easy Bake Oven would match the apron that I'm wearing. All right, should we do this?
Yeah.
All right, so direction number 1. In a medium bowl, whisk together the eggs. Oh, wait, I should also mention, this recipe makes 24 rice balls, and we were both like, hell no. We do not need 24 rice balls. So we're both halving the recipe so that together we would have 24 balls. And So we're going to take, so things, for example, where the recipe calls for 2 eggs, we both will just use 1 egg, or half that. All right. So directions. In a medium bowl, whisk together the egg, 1, cheese, parsley, pepper, and 1 teaspoon of salt. So I guess it would be half a teaspoon of salt. Cover and refrigerate. All right. So I guess I should put the cheese in first. So I just bought pre-grated cheese, not the shitty kind in a can, but
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I'm using some like vegan shredded mozzarella and some nutritional yeast as a combination, because nutritional yeast kind of has like a Parmesan quality to it.
Yes,
and then
it does.
shredded mozzarella tends to be a little bland, so I'm just using that for the cheesy melted quality. That's my cheat on that.
That's a good cheat.
I can't wait until we get signed for our cooking show.
Which is hilarious because it'll just be like me setting up card tables in the living room. I have 3 card tables and like a footstool. I'm also nervous about the cats coming in the room and just fucking upsetting everything.
Oh, that's funny. My cats are like over here and they just don't give a fuck.
All right. I guess I need to go put this in the fridge. I'll be right back. Sasha, entertain everybody.
Okay. So, this is Audrey. She is cute.
Oh! Hi, baby.
Audrey always mysteriously smells like this beautiful realm of like freshly clean linen and a little vanilla and a little lavender. And Burrito smells like poop. so we hold her. Oh, you want to get down now? Okay. Hang on. I gotta let her down.
Okay. All right. Cat's going down. I mean, that sounded weird. What's next on the recipe, you guys? In large saucepan, pour in water and 1 teaspoon salt and bring to a boil. My oven is in the other room, so I got to go do things on the oven.
But in case you're cooking along at home, 1 tablespoon of dried parsley. I used Italian seasoning from Aldi. 1/4 a cup teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. No, I did freshly ground pepper. I didn't have that because that's ridiculous. Whatever. Who doesn't love a full amount of black pepper? And then 1 teaspoon of salt. So having that, it's a half a teaspoon of salt. I used this Martha Stewart Himalayan pink sea salt because, you know, why not? And then the rice, and then I think of dried breadcrumbs. Now, the dried breadcrumbs, I used matzo meal. At some point, you're going to go, are you even making the same recipe? And I will go, absolutely not. But this is just fine. Matzo meal is actually a really versatile ingredient. I've used it as a breadcrumb substitute, both as a filler and also for like panko, if I'm out of panko, if I'm breading, like if I'm making like tempura or something. So that's fun. I'm going to read you now the note that they have provided. It says, note, these are ideal as an hors d'oeuvre, as a side course to an Italian meal, or for a party buffet table. They can be eaten alone or dipped in marinara sauce or barbecue sauce. That I would not advise. No, do not do that. That sounds horrifying. Maybe do it in secret. Maybe it's actually good. I don't know. Also, keep fully cooked in the refrigerator in a zippered storage bag. I like that aversion to actually telling us the name brand. For up to 2 days, and are easily reheated in a preheated oven at 350 for 15 minutes. To quote Mr. Fatone when he gave me this recipe, enjoy.
I'm glad they attributed that quote.
I think they missed a trick there by not saying enjoy.
I have to tell you, I saw another recipe where they also said for someone else, to quote so-and-so, enjoy. Like they used the same exact. I was like, really? Like you. So now the next thing was when the rice is done, we pour the egg mixture in. And then we do something with breadcrumbs on a board, dampening our hands, and then frying. Well, while things are cooking, maybe we should read some pages. All right, I'm gonna get the binder. You know what? I realized nobody's ever seen the binder like other than pictures we posted. So now people will get to see it in real life, I guess.
Are we allowed to show such beauty?
Well, we have shown photos.
I know, but emotion?
Yeah, it's a good question.
You know what? Let the chips fall where they may.
Agreed. All right, everyone. This is the binder.
Oh.
These are all the pages. This was page 1 that we started when this podcast used to be called Ray of Light. And then these are pages we've already gone through, and we are now we finished up through this page, and we have this much left of the binder.
I can't believe we're almost there.
Yeah, this is the end of the binder.
Oh, go ahead.
That's it.
Oh, I was going to say, in some ways, it's kind of interesting that we're almost done with this binder, and we're binding the rice together with egg.
Oh, snap.
Also, in our pilot season, when we were Ray of Light, we did a full celebrity cooking episode, and it was very exciting.
Yeah, and we recorded another one that I never mixed down because I'm a jerk.
No, you're not a jerk. That was just the lost episode.
Hi, everybody. Okay, this is Liz coming to you from a different time than when this was recorded for the podcast. So here's what you need to know. There's a narrator whose name is Kelly, who was childhood friends with Joey Fatone from NSYNC. They met back up as adults, and they realized they were in love with each other. She left some gentleman named David, who was no longer her beloved. Her and Joey are planning to get married. She's on tour with him. She's now going to business school or starting business school while he does his NSYNC things. In the previous episode, let's see, they moved to, what are they in, New York, some such, for her to go to business school and learn about how to do entertainment lawyering, I guess. And that is the general gist of what you need to know. All right, so shall we read some pages?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so it's 1:35. We have 10 minutes before we got to check on the rice, or at least check on my rice. You might have to. I don't know. Do you have to worry about checking on your rice?
My rice is done. Okay, so the page that you scanned for me, she'll be reading from the actual sacred text, and I'll be reading from a PDF. It starts off with "right somehow." Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and it was part of a quote. The quote, like on the previous page that starts that is, well, actually here, I'll just read the little, it's like a tiny little portion that was like, they concluded it and then they started it back up again. The night before the beginning of the semester, oh, right, because she went back to school for business, right?
As one does, yeah.
Yes. We were sitting watching TV when Joey piped up. "We have a monkey." "We do," I smiled. "You remembered."
Right. Somehow. Plus, I just like saying it. "We have a monkey." "Where did you get that t-shirt?" I commented on his "Tell your kids it's not polite to point at me" t-shirt. Gift bucket. In the flat, we had this box of all the gifts that Joey kept from what they all got on tour. He usually picked up the weirdest stuff and more often than not had to compete with Chris for it. "They point because you're a superstar." I leaned on him and closed my eyes, yawning. "Are you excited?" "Nervous. I've been out of school for a long time. Excited to get out of Leanne. Oh, wait, excited to learn again. And get away from Leanne. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm excited to get to learn again. I enjoy that part. You're going to be wonderful. We'll see. So, the next day, I was walking around the NYU campus looking for my second class. The first one was pretty easy to find, but I had gotten all turned around and looked like an idiot with my campus map out. Finally, someone stopped me and pointed in the right direction. It was my economics and psychology course taught by Professor Andrew Kaplan, and I made it to the packed auditorium with moments to spare. Popcorn? Liz.
Okay. The professor got right to work, and after introducing himself, he moved right into a PowerPoint presentation, and we all began to furiously take notes. I was exhausted by the time class ended, but I was off to the next one, which proved to be the most interesting of them all. Money and banking. Truly the most interesting of them all.
Naturally.
Professor Squirka started off by telling us that 3/4 of the class would fail by midterm. I could see the people around me looking around them frantically, but I kept my eyes completely focused on him. And those of you frantically looking to the other faces in this lecture hall are exactly the 3/4 I am talking about. You will not be given any special treatment here. You are graduate students, and there are no free rides. That you will learn fairly quickly. We will start with a general overview of the financial system. This is some really juicy fan fiction.
Fiscal solvency. Here we go. A start that lasted the rest of class time. I decided fairly quickly that if I was going to pass, I was going to have to invest in a small tape recorder. I was sure that I had missed half of what I was supposed to be writing down. I was walking across campus, heading to hail a cab, yoo-hoo, when someone clipped their hand in mine and whispered, "Keep walking." It, of course, was Joey. "Baby, what are you doing here?" I was on my way home. He led me off the beaten path. Oh, dang, that would have been a good time to beat the eggs. Meow. Meow? Okay. He led me off the beaten path to a small bench beside a fountain. There was no one around and it was freezing. Couldn't wait. He kissed me deeply, mwah, and took me in a hug. "I missed you today. It's the first time I've been without you in a long time, and frankly, I found it very disagreeable, much like the handwriting of this author." "Oh, sweetheart, you're going to have to get used to it, though it's the new schedule. It'll be good for us, don't you think? You'll have time for your affairs while I stare away." Stare? Is it stave? While I slave away. Ooh. To make you richer. Let me reread that line. "You'll have time for your affairs while I slave away to make you richer. It all evens out." I hugged him tighter. "I'm so glad you showed up," I whispered. Again with the actions after.
Mm-hmm. All right, it is now 1:45. Now, when we talked about me checking the rice at 1:45, what am I looking for? For the water to be evaporated? For it to be soft?
You're looking for like a couple of bubbles. The water should be pretty much evaporated.
Okay. And then
you should see if it's really ready, it'll either be flat or it'll have a couple of like small circles in it.
Got it. And then when that is done, then we remove it from heat and pour in the egg mixture.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you know what? I did read the directions, but you know what I missed?
What?
That we have to allow the rice mixture to cool for 1 hour.
No, you don't. It's fine.
Oh, really?
You just put it in your freezer for a little bit. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Like stir it a little bit and get most of the heat out of it, and then chuck it in the freezer for a few minutes.
Oh, all right. I will be right back.
Okay, I'm gonna finish my line here.
Okay, please.
Okay. I hugged him tighter. I'm so glad you showed up, I whispered, close to his ear. I miss you too. Oh, that was relieving. I got my lines done. All is good in the world. It's your turn to read.
Okay. All right. So glad I showed up, I whispered close to his ear. I missed you too. He dazzled me with his famous Fatone smile. That's what I dazzle you with, my famous Fatone.
Yeah, that's the joke. Yeah. Humor is good. Yeah.
Like to give me shit. Oh, like to give me shit, do you?
Is that the limoncello LaCroix?
Yes, it's fucking rad.
Excuse me.
I have seen. Are you okay?
Yeah, hang on.
It's like if you had a dreamsicle, but it was lemon, and you could get its general essence and put it in a fucking seltzer. It's delicious. Fuck yeah, cheers!
Okay.
Love it, live for it, I smiled back, and we began to walk to hail a cab. Tell me about your first day, he said, as we stood waiting. Do you have homework already? So for the cab ride home, we talked about my money and banking class and the 3/4 episode. He said he had no doubt that I would be in the 1/4 with or without the little test of the professors. We got back home and he made a pasta salad while I spread my books out on the kitchen table and began to read. I'm glad you only have these classes on Mondays and Thursdays. I can plan ahead to eat off a TV tray? What? He laughed as he kissed my forehead. The salad is in the fridge when you're ready. Do you need any help? No, I'm good for now. Just a lot of reading. Well, I'm going to go call your boss and see what's on the docket next. I'll be back down in a bit.
Important question. Why do we not have a recipe for this alleged pasta salad?
Oh, right?
Questions.
Yes. I can guess what we're supposed to do with the pasta salad. Enjoy.
To quote Joey Fatone and other humans.
Do we need to check on the rice in the freezer, or should we wait longer?
Yeah, go ahead and check on it. See if it's cool. It's probably fine. It's not very much rice.
Okay. All right, so it's lukewarm.
Let's give it a little bit more.
Okay. So Roz, I can't wait any longer. I'm starving. All right.
What's that saying? Like, spoil the rod, spoil the mason.
Spare the rod and I eat the leg off the chair.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
He went upstairs to make some phone calls, and I commenced to reading. By the time I looked back up again, it was 11:30 p.m. Please note that 11:30 p.m. 11 has been written as a mixed fraction. The numerator is the 30, and then the denominator is the PM. Thank you. I gathered. Oh, bless you, Audrey. She sneezed. Okay. I gathered my.
Does Audrey ever sing at you and go like, "Feed me, Sasha"?
No, but she is a little shop of horrors unto her own sometimes. I love her all the same. I gathered my things back together and put it in my backpack, after which I scooped some pasta in a bowl and looked for something to drink. Joey came back down. I fell asleep up there. I get done, you look tired. Reading eyes. Any news? Not good, so no. He sat down. You have to share the bad. That way, it's not quite so bad. I put my backpack on the floor and plopped down, and I took a long swallow of Sobe. Whoa. Do you remember Sobe?
I do. Does it still exist?
I don't think so. Does it?
What? It was like a flavored energy drink-ish kind of. It was like Snapple.
Long glass bottle. Yeah, I think it was like the direct competitor of Snapple Elements. You remember that?
No, I don't even know that I know what that is.
Oh, it was like different flavors named after like fire, water, meteor.
Oh.
Go planet. I don't.
Wow.
Sobe. I have to see. This is important. Researching. It is. Oh, so I guess they still make it. Okay.
So be it.
It's owned by PepsiCo. To be fair, we probably are too. Okay. I took a long swallow of Sobe. Touring for the next 2 weeks solid. Radio and MTV. I'll be gone, and you obviously can't come with me. Nope. But again, I'm okay with that. You should be too. Absence makes the heart, M dash. I can't help but want you with me. He looked at me sadly. I want to be with you, but I have to go through this to get to that. 2 weeks is nothing. Won't be the same, you know, how I feel about sleeping without you. And are you going to be okay here by yourself? I'll be away like California and the rest of the West Coast.
Oh. All right. Is it rice checking time again?
Yeah, let's check on the rest again.
All right. And then after that, I'm pulling up the directions on my phone again. Oh, then we pour the breadcrumbs on a pile, one end of a cutting board, dampen and roll rice mixture into 1-inch balls.
Yeah, so it's like we're just gonna be dredging it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put the binder on the floor. I'll try not to drip anything on it. How am I gonna do this in the living room? This is gonna be a shit show, you guys. I don't know how this is gonna work, but I'm gonna do it.
Okay, I am going to finally throw away the expired Parmesan that is not used.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. My heart will go on.
All right, I'm gonna go get my rice. Stand by.
Okay. All right.
Pour breadcrumbs into a pile on one end of a cutting board. Dampen hands and roll rice mixture onto 1-inch balls.
He wants us to combine the rice and the egg mixture first, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me just do that real quick.
Oh, right. That's what you were warning me against doing, was combining them too early, because I didn't want to accidentally cook the egg. All right, so here are the breadcrumbs. Yeah. All right, this is how much I'm doing. Are you about to fry yours?
Yes.
In a small, deep skillet, heat olive oil to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure oil covers the rice balls. Fry rice balls 6 at a time, turning as needed to ensure even browning. Drain on paper towels and serve warm. How do I know if my oil is at 350 degrees? I don't have like an oil thermometer.
Yeah, so you don't really need to. What you can do when oil is getting kind of hot is you can just throw in a little bit of excess whatever. Just like we have some extra breadcrumbs, you can throw some in there. If it starts to sizzle,
Yeah.
then you're good.
Okay.
The thing about olive oil though is that it does tend to get a little like rancid if you heat it too high.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure it's like medium high boil.
Got it. Going to fry.
Oh, okay. Audrey has decided to join us. Okay, that's enough of her. Fry rice balls 6 at a time. even browning. So he doesn't actually give any estimated time. So that's fine. Often when you're frying something, if it looks brown, it's probably going to darken a little browner than you think. So always keep an eye on it when you're frying it, and never abandon the oil, ever.
Oh, it's taking a while for it to warm up.
Okay, well, my oil is heated up pretty quickly,
But
it seems.
I probably have it on too low.
Okay. You can put it on medium.
Yeah.
Medium is fine. But what I was going to say is that when you're frying something and it looks brown, that's probably fine because it'll darken a little browner than what comes out. I have a plate with some paper towels here away from the fire, and I have a spider, but if you have like a tongs or anything, you might want to have that so you're not like splashing oil everywhere. Godspeed, Liz.
Thank you.
Okay. It is time to carefully lower into the oil as it splashes. And we're frying. It's very exciting. I think what I'm going to do also is open a door because otherwise my whole house is going to smell like fried food for a while. Hi.
Hi, mine's frying. How long do I do each side for? Like 10 seconds?
No, longer than that. It's going to take a bit. You know, just keep eyeing it. When it starts to brown.
Okay.
And we're frying. And we're frying.
A couple of mine fell apart. Are any of yours falling apart?
One has a tiny crack in it, but the rest are okay.
I think
I'm sorry.
did myself a disservice by not, like, when I was making the balls, like, wet my hands before I was doing each one.
Well, it's a good you made so many, and you can scoop out you should probably scoop out the bits of rice, though. I assume you did, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't have the fancy strainer thing that you have, but I do have tongs, so I could kind of.
Oh, yeah, I had the fancy strainer thing, and I put it off to the side, and then it fell on the side of the oven, so I switched to tongs anyway. So.
Oh my God, you upgraded to fancy. All right, I'm gonna go back to frying. Ta-da! What's in your sauce?
It's some water, and some tomato paste I had in the freezer, and some like Italian seasoning. Like it's not crazy.
Wow, I'm pretty impressed. All right,
Ta-da.
this is what mine looks like.
Let me see. Hey!
Yeah, here, wait. These look better. Oh my God, yours look like way better than mine. Oh my God.
We did it. We did it. Fried rice.
Oh my God. Fried rice is delicious.
Shall we? Oh, you're doing it. Okay, cheers. It's okay.
This is pretty fucking delicious, I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I am what the kids call cheese. What did you say?
I love the idea of this podcast just being us eating.
Well, now that we're YouTuber.
I would never make this again because it was too much work, but it is delicious. Do we want to read some more? Or do we need to like sit here and eat all of these because they're delicious?
Well, why don't I go? You keep eating. I'll go ahead and read a page.
Okay, sounds good.
You taught me well, sweetheart. Cabs and eat in. Okay, it took me two weeks to fall back into love with you. Don't find anyone else on me. You take that advice too. I'm not going to have 500,000 girls screaming at me for 2 weeks. I yawned. Just drawing professors. When do you leave? Just drawing professors?
Like professors that are drawing.
Oh, instead of girls screaming at him, it's just drawing professors. What a common descriptor. When do you leave? 5 hours, he sighed. Baby, I'm not even going to be able to take you to the airport. I know. Again, with the want to take you with me thing. Let's get to bed and try not to wake you when I go. You'd better say goodbye to me, I scolded. You never know what could happen. You know, this is a positive of the video read, is that you can actually see my finger wag now. Okay, I hear you. I finished off my salad and sobe and followed Joey upstairs with my arms around his waist. We fell asleep, having a giggling fest about my professor's bald spot looking like a camel. As one does.
We also decided to keep in contact by cell, except of course when I was in class. He left me early the next morning with kisses and promises to call as soon as he landed. The flat was so quiet as I got ready for class, it was almost eerie. I left pretty early myself, so I just finished up some reading in the library before class. First day in a Joey-free zone, and of course opportunity rears its ugly head. Not that I would ever dream of doing anything ever, but of course I just can't be left by myself. So I'm sitting in the library studying and just about to pack up when, so were you the 3/4 or the 1/4? I looked up to see a guy who looked oddly familiar, though in a really far off way. What's that? In scores class, the pass or the fail? Pass. You? Fail. Can you help? Doubtful. I just maintained eye contact. Doesn't mean I'm gonna pass. Can I sit?
Free country. He sat. Do I know you? He leaned in for a bit. Is that all you've got? Unfortunately, but I'm serious. You look really familiar. You just saw me yesterday. Before yesterday. Have you always lived in New York? No, I'm a transplant from Beantown. Huh. Well, maybe I'll figure it out. Did you finish the reading? Yeah, I'm on my second go-around. Really? Yup. Would you mind filling me in a little? I got lost at the end. I'm Mark, by the way. Kelly. And for the next 20 minutes, we talked about class, and then we're off. After class, we talked for a couple of minutes, more about general stuff. He just kept staring at me. Do you recognize me, he asked. Should I? Are you famous?
Depends on who you ask. You don't recognize me then. Nope, my boyfriend's job keeps us pretty busy. His eyes grew in saucers. You used to date David. You know, Sarah, he whispered, amazed. Light bulb. Oh, you know Sarah, he whispered, amazed. Light bulb. I don't know what he's talking about. You're Riley Finn, I whispered back, shaking my head. Fucking typical. I cannot believe this. What is the deal with this town anyway? Aren't there like 20 million people in the city? Arg, I moaned. Who are you dating now that you don't watch TV? Joey Fatone. You are not. You're engaged? Yep. Man, how crazy is that? Small world. Too small for my liking. Wow. So it's nice to have met you, but I really can't go back there. I started to walk. Back where? Hey, are you not going to talk to me because we just successfully completed 6 Degrees of Separation? I'm not even on that show anymore, he followed. where were is close enough for me. It took me a long time to get rid of that, and I'm not going to revisit it. I walked to the curb to hail a cab. Okay, let's back up a moment. Who's Riley Finn? He was on some kind of show. Do we have to look this up? I think we're going to look this up.
Oh, Riley Finn from Buffy.
Oh, what did he play? Oh, the boyfriend
Wow.
that no one liked.
Yeah.
What's that actor's real name?
Mark.
Ah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. He was the one, he came back later with like the, yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, you can see he made a good impression on us. I have to tell you, these fried rice balls are really making me feel connected to this story.
I gotta tell you, I've got a lot of the like fried leftover crumbs. I gotta tell you, they're delicious.
Oh, that's fair.
I feel like I'm making it work.
I haven't eaten anything today except for these fried rice balls.
Yeah, I had those 2 pretzel rods. That was the extent of what I ate today.
What is wrong with us?
What? All right, anyway, your turn.
I need help in that class. Can you please reconsider this? I promise. I really don't have anything to do with them anymore. He was still yelling at me when I got in the cab and headed home. I thought about Mark for most of the rest of that day. I tried to call Joey, but his cell was off. Assumably, he was busy. But I really felt the need to talk. He ended up calling at about 1:30 p.m. That morning, I was so spent from studying that I didn't answer the phone until about the 5th ring. Joey was shouting, "Baby! Hey, you there? Ja! It's 1 in the morning. Ooh, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I forgot to change my watch. It's all right. Wah, wah, wah. I was worried. I'm sorry. Stupid cell. I had to recharge. How are you? Why are you shouting? Where are you? Cuz they, Joey, I can't understand you. You're breaking up. Why don't you give me a call when you get to the hotel?
Okay, love, miss you. And the line went dead. I plopped back on the pillow as all the image of him at an after party with the guys, now pretty much single, and no one to stop him. Just then the phone rang again. Is that better? He was coming across perfectly clear. I smiled. Hello, baby. Hello, my sweetheart. I'm sorry about the connection. It's my cell. Where are you now? In the business office of a club called Trash. Why? Where are you? In bed, where I wish you were. I was wrong. I want to be with you too. Aha! I told you. Miss Good for Us, I told you. It is good for us. I just wish it were good for us quick. I'll go fast. I'll get a new cell tomorrow. Then I'll call every 15 seconds. How was class? Good. I met another one of the BTVS group, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was quiet. Oh, he was quiet. Who's left?
No one, really. Just a guy who was on for a season. It's Mark. Mark's the guy on for a season.
Who played Riley Finn.
Yeah. Who came to mind immediately.
Oh, that explains also why he's like, you know, Sarah. So, like a few pages.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah. So presumably he's talking about Sarah Michelle Gellar, is my guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
No one, really. Just a guy who was on for a season. He's in my banking class. The only reason that I bring it up is because it is so odd. I just had to share it with you. It's like I'm walking around in this little bubble created by David. I fell off. Just add. I sighed. I'm gonna let you get back to sleep, okay? He was quiet. Baby, thank you for finding a phone. It's so good to hear your voice. I miss you, and I love you. And I'll talk to you soon. Tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow night. Change your watch. Don't forget a phone. Love you, baby. I love you too. Bye, sweetheart. And he hung up. And I fell asleep instantly, having made a decision after an epiphany. I was completely and totally in love with Joey, and the addition of a guy into my personal life was not going to change that no matter what. Just because I left David for Joey didn't mean I was ever going to leave Joe for anyone. I could be friends with Mark and help him with class without it having any kind of effect on my relationship with Joe. Sleep came easy after all of that.
The next day I looked for Mark at the library, but he wasn't there, so I just went on to class. He wasn't there either, but I sat in toward the front, so I didn't see whether or not he came in late. I walked out at the end without looking back, just figuring he would find me if he wanted to. I swear to God it says this. He would find me if he wanted to. He did. Hey, I heard a voice and footsteps behind me. I turned around. It was Mark. Hey, did you make it to class? Yeah, a little late. I had some errands to run. I've been chasing you down, though. What's the rush? I was looking for you. Why? What's up? I wanted to apologize for yesterday and to tell you that I would really like to help you with class if I can. He just looked at me. What made you change your mind? Nothing really. Just thought about it, I guess. Not a big deal. So, what are you up to now? Actually, that's why I wanted to find you. I had a whole speech prepared about how you could save someone's business career and how that would be far greater good and all. It was a little dry, though. I'm glad now that I don't have to bother. Handwriting was super.
It was a little dry. Maybe she should have had a little bit more egg in the rice ball, you know?
Who knows?
Oh, no, you don't. I want to hear the speech. No, you really don't. It was the desperate ramblings of a desperate man. What I really wanted to say was that I am playing ball tonight, and I wanted to know if you wanted to come and watch, and we could study for that quiz. Some after that, he adjusted the trim of his jacket, and the wind picked up. I really should know. I really should just study. I can meet up with you later after the game. Okay, I just thought maybe we can hang out, get to know each other, since you're going to probably have to spend a lot of time with me to get my ass out of the sling. I'll meet you after, like your place or a coffee house or something.
Do you think we should put a pause in it right here?
Yeah, it's getting heavy.
Yes. I think we should. I think we should put a pause on it there. So what happened today? So Kelly's first day of business school. Joey goes off to do Joey NSYNC things.
And doesn't adjust his watch. A fool.
Right. And Kelly meets Mark, who played Finn Riley on BTVS.
It just seems like Kelly's heart is in flux. She's trying to not admit that she has wandering eyes. She fears the predetermined destiny she feels she has. She already left David for Joey. Now she sees Mark, this unimpressive guy in her banking class, but she's like, oh, well, he's a guy and I have a one-on-one relationship with him, so clearly, I'm gonna do it again. But she's like saying, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. It's not like it's gonna happen again. We can just be friends. She doesn't seem to blatantly ever say that she's gonna leave him, but she seems to dock protest too much. I'm getting that there's gonna be some conflict.
I'm wondering if what separates her situation. So before she left David for Joey, but she had known Joey her whole life. Whereas this guy, she hasn't known him her whole life, and she she didn't have that bond with him that is one of the contributing factors that makes her love Joey so much.
Right.
Well, I think we covered some good territory today. I guess now I have to deal with the aftermath of cleaning everything up.
Bye. Okay, that's it.
Yay! We did such a good job. I feel roly-poly. And I think we're at a good stopping point for what
I think we are too, but we made good progress in both the book and in our culinary adventures together.
Bravo! Bravo! All right. Have a good day. Love you.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye, Liz.
Bye. Bye, bye, bye.